Some people aren't stuck because they lack intelligence, talent, or opportunity. They're stuck because their own mind has quietly built a series of traps they keep walking into without ever noticing. Psychologists have names for every one of them. Here they are explained. Perfectionism paralysis. You wait until conditions are perfect before starting. They never are, so you never start. What feels like high standards is often just fear of being judged wearing a more respectable disguise. Analysis paralysis. The more options you have, the harder any decision becomes, not easier. Research on choice overload consistently shows more options produce more anxiety, more regret, and more inaction than fewer options ever do. Learned helplessness. After failing enough times in a situation you couldn't control, your brain starts generalizing that failure to everything else, including situations you actually could influence. You stop trying, not because it's hopeless, but because your brain decided it must be, based on evidence from a different room entirely. The comparison trap. Comparing your internal experience, your doubts, your slow progress, your private struggles, to other people's external presentation. You're measuring your raw footage against their highlight reel and concluding you're losing a race nobody agreed to enter. All or nothing thinking. Either you did it perfectly or you failed completely. Either things are going great or everything is ruined. This binary lens turns every setback into a collapse and makes partial progress feel like no progress at all, which is often exactly what stops it. The sunk cost trap. Continuing with something that isn't working specifically because of how much you've already invested, not because the future looks promising, but because the past feels too expensive to abandon. Every new day you spend in a dead end is a fresh cost, not a recovery of an old one. Approval seeking. Building every decision around how it will be received rather than whether it's actually right for you. The trap isn't caring what people think. That's human. The trap is needing their approval before you're willing to move. Catastrophizing. Treating a plausible bad outcome as a certain one and treating a certain bad outcome as a permanent, total, unrepairable disaster. Two upgrades on reality that make almost any problem feel unsurvivable before it's even arrived. The overthinking loop. Running the same thought through your mind repeatedly in the hope that more thinking will produce certainty, and discovering every time that it doesn't. Rumination research consistently shows overthinking increases anxiety and makes decisions harder, not clearer. Instant gratification bias. Consistently choosing the smaller, faster reward over the larger, slower one, not because you don't value the future, but because your brain experiences future rewards as less real than present ones. The long game always feels optional until the short game stops working. Here's what connects all 10 of these. None of them feel like traps from the inside. They feel like logic, caution, self-awareness, or reasonable patience. That's what makes them effective, and that's exactly what makes naming them useful. You can't step around a trap you can't see. Now you can see them.